I recently went shopping for, it's the new year, and I like to sometimes shop for art supplies, which I'm going to be honest, I don't need a lot of. But I do need it sometimes, some new tools to motivate me and keep me from artist block. So what I went out, and you can see in front of you right now, is the Strathmore sketch. And I picked up this, I was looking for a smaller one. So I usually try to go smaller in my sketchbooks. But I picked this one up. And I was going to just review this one, but then I thought of all the other sketchbooks I had and give a review. Initially, I haven't drawn anything in these pages yet. For this one, it's new. So what I'm going to do is start off with this one and show you as I go along and tell you more or less the prices, the kind of paper it is it acid-free, and size, and overall, do I like it? So let's start with this one, the Strathmore sketch. By the way, not only did I get this sketchbook, I also went out and got some acrylic calligraphy, which I used to be into when I was doing it a long time ago. This one here you're seeing right here is a, sorry about that, it's been a while, so. What you see here, I apologize, is Dr. P.H. Martin's iridescent ink. So I will do a review on this one as well. Probably in this review so you can see it and yeah, get a taste for it. So I also got a fan brush. I don't have any fan brushes in my artwork, so I wanted to try this year. This is the year. So I just got a level 2. Nothing really fancy about this brush. It was $4 at Michael's, and I just wanted to try it and review it. It's synthetic. It's nothing fancy about it, so it's a size 2. But we will try and just do a review of that if I can today. So let's move to the sketchbook. So this is the first one. This is the Sketchmore Strathmore. Strathmore has a series going on. They usually have series 300, 400, 500, and depending, as you go higher in the number, they say it's better, the series. So like, it's funny here, but when you read these off, it says 400 is best or superior, and then the 300's pretty good. To me, let me just tell you real quickly about what I use Sketchbook for. I usually use it now, I figured out, is to just sketch. I like to sketch a lot. Back then I sketched in a lot of pencil, but now I sketch in pens, colored pencils. If I have them around, I'll pick up colored pencils. I'll do watercolor, charcoal, crayon, whatever I have available. That's what a sketchbook functions for me, and that's just my opinion about it. I think everyone has a unique way of using sketchbooks, but for me, they're great. There's something I'm not going to sell. I don't think I would sell something from my sketchbook, but I generally just putting ideas, and you could actually complete ideas when you do sketchbooks too if you want to. That's the beauty of it. And you can experiment with glue, glitter, different confetti types. You put confetti all over things. You name, what else you can put? Ribbon. Want to put ribbon? You can put a ribbon on it. It doesn't matter. A sketchbook can be a journal, an art journal, I don't know. It can be anything. That's what I like to use it for. So let me get to it, okay? All right, guys, so let's start off with the Strathmore now. The Strathmore, this is 5 by 5 inches by 8.5. So this is a pretty, see, this is the size of my hand. So I carry a small bag. This will be perfect for the small bag I use. I used to get big sketchbooks, like basically letter size, and that was a little daunting. It was so heavy sometimes, and I bang it up, and I liked it at first, but now, I really appreciate a smaller, lighter one. A lot of sketchbooks also have hardcovers, and this one, unfortunately, is really thin, and it's great for me. It's also recycled paper, and it's fine tooth, which probably doesn't mean much, but it can grip on the surface. And this one cost about, if I remember, I paid about $9 in Michael's. Now, Michael's craft store can be a little off, so they actually have it at another online for cheaper. I think it goes up like $6. It's on sale. So this is a great, great choice if you want. I think I have never used it, but I can just see it's really just thin, flimsy paper, and I could imagine, number 2 pencil, half HB pencils. I wouldn't recommend maybe markers, not alcohol markers, because they'll go right through. But if you want to do that, that's fine. You know, you just have to skip a page or whatever. Or, you know, you can paste cardboard or whatever. And the other thing what makes this unique about this is the spine is twirly, so these get banged up sometimes. That's another thing when you put it in bags. So this spine will get banged up eventually. But they also make them tearable, so you can tear it or perforate it, which is awesomer, so you can get a cleaner cut. So this, I think this is suitable for what you need if you want. So now that you have an idea of this kind of sketchbook, what kind I use a small one. And I've shown you already my sketchbooks that you've seen in the past, some of them, my sketchbook reviews. Let me show you another brand to compare it to. Now this one is the Canson's XL Mixed Media. Now this one has a little bit more weight. This one has, compared to this one, this is 60 pounds. And what do I mean by 60 pounds? It's the weight of the paper, how much it can take. Like this can't really take water, it'll go right through. Okay, for the Strathmore. For the Canson, this can take, it's a little more tougher, so it can take ink, it can take watercolors. You can see here, this is a watercolor. It will buckle a little bit, slight buckle. You can see the bumps on the pages, so there's a little slight buckling, but it's not a crazy buckle. And you can, as I turn the pages, you can take marker, yeah, and so pencil. And this is also acid-free, so they're both acid-free, and this one can take acrylic. So this is an amazing one too. Not too heavy acrylic, but light acrylic. And this one, the Cansons, they are you probably see them a lot in a lot of art stores like Blick and Michael's. And they go for more or less, I think it's around $9. I'm not sure actually. They go around, I would say, yeah, about $9. So this is $9, and this one's about, the other one is $6. So you can see the difference already. $9, $6. Heavier, you get heavier paper here, light paper here. You get about 100 sheets here, you get about 60 here. So you can see the switch off what you're doing. They both bind it, by the way, and they both are perforated. So there you go. Depending if you take markers and you're a marker guy and a pen guy, even an acrylic guy, you can take this, you know, on a bus, a train. This is like watercolor here, so I use very light watercolor. And even watercolor pencils like this. This is watercolor pencil. So you can see here I just used, it didn't buckle too bad either. So just something to think about in the near future. This one's not done yet. I bought a new sketchbook, but I haven't finished this one. But that's just the way I am. You know, I like to carry lighter. So there is a weight difference too. Not a lot, you won't notice it, but it's a little lighter. So this one being lighter, okay? So that's the matchup with that. Now these two are spine, and they have perforated. The next ones I'm going to show you have nothing even to do with that. So let me show you those. All right, so this one is a Blick store version. So if you go to Blick, they have one. They have these sketchbooks, and this one's an old one. This one's back in 2014, and this was going for about $9 too. So this is about $9. So when you compare it, this is $9. It's probably acid-free. You know, it can handle pencil, pen, micron pens, a little bit of markers. I used a, I forgot the name of the brand of markers I was using. Tombow markers, that's right. Portrait Tombow markers when I was doing going to sketch classes in the city and sketching people in the subway. And so this handled pretty well. The paper feels really good on micron. I have to say, it runs really nice. This Blick paper was becoming my favorite actually. I used to love drawing on this. This was like a pleasure. I really just having so much fun with it. And I also did Staedtler markers too. So the Staedtler tricolor, I think the tricolor pens were amazing. And it just felt so good to draw on this. I was really enjoying this. This is probably one of my favorites. This came about 100 sheets too. So this was 100 sheets. Now this has a hardcover, and the spine is a hardcover. And the paper, however, I would say it's about more or less, I think these were going about, in paper and pound wise, these were about 65 pounds. So this one's about just like this thin Strathmore. It's not as heavy as the Canson XL mix. So this was 9, this was 9, and this is about 6. You can see already the recycled paper is the cheaper one and the lightest of them. However, you sacrifice putting watercolors. You could put watercolors, but it's going to be very thin and buckles. I wouldn't advise it. It would be really buckling, and just for me, in my opinion, it's not made for it. These two, definitely you can put a watercolor, little markers, even that. So there you go for those right there. Okay. And here's another Canson. So there's another Canson brand. I just want to put these Cansons together and just show you, again, this size, this size. So they're all about the same size. They're 8.5 by 5.5 inch. So that's the highest I will go now. I could show you these heavy, big 8.5 by 11. It's just horrible to carry. Even the flimsy ones, they would just bend up and it just don't fit in a book bag for me or my little pocketbook. Now this Canson art book one, now this is an interesting one too. This is 67 pounds. So this one, more or less, it says 60 pound, but I can feel it. It feels, I don't know, they're just different brands, but this feels really thin. It can handle color pencils, HB pencils, Vine charcoal, even a little bit, I say a little bit of watercolor, but this will buckle up. It handles markers pretty well. Yeah, markers it can handle well, but watercolors, it will buckle up. It's not made for that. I really can tell you the truth. It's not like that at all. But the hardcover is great, and this was the Canson Art Book 1. This was acid-free also. So this is 65 pound paper. And I just want to show you, when you compare all three of these, the Blick and the two Cansons, again, these two, this Blick was awesome to me. I mean, I got my money's worth out of all of these three. This one is great because you can tear the paper up. This one doesn't have the advantage. These two do not have the advantage. And the cover is here. So this Canson Book 1, I picked it up, thought I liked it. It was okay. It's my least favorite of them. And my favorite paper of all of them would be this one right here. Unfortunately, the Blick doesn't have the perforated one, which, you know, it's kind of sad, but that's okay. And this is your all go-to guy. So my go-to for markers. And about the same price ranges for all of them, I believe. Yeah, about the same. So about 9, 9, 9, and 6. So that's a review on those. Now I want to show you the last ones, and they're a little bit smaller than these 4 that I showed you. Okay, let me show you. So I showed you the Strathmore. It's light, acid-free. It's recycled, 100 sheets, $6. Really good for what I need it for now. I'm not doing watercolors with it. If you want to do watercolors, you're going to probably go with these, the XL and the Blick brand, one. So. And of course the Canson, the Canson Book 1 is just very thin, so you wouldn't do watercolor on that. Now this one you probably heard of. They're very expensive, some of these. This one's the Stillman and Birn. These are beautiful, harder pound paper. You could put oils on this if you can. You could put gesso on it. This one's the Stillman and Birn Delta series. I like the feel of it. You can see how this is the pocketbook. You can do it this way. You can do long portraits. That's what I liked about it. You can paint long portraits. I did a lot of sketching with it, regular pencils. And then I took it to the limit of, I used watercolor pencils. And I was generally impressed by it, really impressed by the quality of it. The only thing is the priciness of it. You don't get a lot of pages for it. That's probably a downside for me. You get about 30 pages, and I sketch more than that, way more than that. Now these get really pricey. We're talking, even though you're getting extra heavyweight paper, you're talking about, this one alone was $10 for the small one. So $10 compared to this $10 one, this $10 one, and this $10 one, and this $10 one. For sketching, I mean, it's a beautiful book, don't get me wrong. If you're an acrylics guy, heavy acrylics person, woman, oils and this, you can do it. But, you know, it's small. It's beautiful, strong paper, but I don't know if the price is worth it for what I do. I'd rather do any of these books than this one, even though I would probably get another one of them just if I had the money. And then that brings me to another small one, just to see. Now this one is by Daler and Roney. It's called the Cachet, I think. The Cachet. Now this is a strong cover and thin paper, very thin paper. But I have to say it handles pencils and color pencils really well, a little bit of watercolor pencils, but will not not at all handle water very well. It can buckle up really fast. I've tried it. And this is the recent one I went through with you guys. So this was the sketchbook you already saw earlier that I went through with you guys in the last video of my end of the year sketchbook. So there you go, guys. That is my review of all the sketchbooks that I recommend for smaller. So right now this is the newer one, and I haven't even drawn in it yet, and I want to, but I know I want to, you know, give it a run. Maybe in another video I will just do it on its own. Try watercolor, watercolor pencils, markers, and even try to see what happens if I put acrylic. I know what's going to happen to it, of course. If I put gesso and acrylic, it'd probably buckle up. But that will be it in another review for the Strathmore Sketch Recycle paper. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. If you have any questions about any of these, the weight again, and you know, or tell me what do you guys use for sketchbooks? You might not even use these. You might use anything around. You know, that's what I would do too. I suggest, you know, just because I go to Michael's and Blick's and Utrecht and other art stores in the city, I could go to a 99-cent store and be fine for what I'm doing it for. Because 99-cent stores also, I mean, not to take away these companies and what they do, but for sketching purposes, which means you're drawing or sketching buildings or people and just practicing your craft, hey, it's all right. You know, you can get a pencil and save money. Me, I don't think I'm professional at all with this. I just see these and I like them. You know, the hardcover bounds are pretty cool looking. You can design the back and the fronts. And I'm pretty sure you can find in 99-cent stores paper about that or thinner. And just for sketching purposes, that is what you probably would use it most likely for. You know, that's the whole idea, to do light sketches and, you know, figure out ideas and write songs and poetry and eyes and cut out pictures and get ideas, because this is what you're beginning. This is where your ideas really come to life when you put them on paper and come back and look at them and see your progress. So yeah, that's what I think a functioning sketchbook should be. I think you should always have one now, because that is the bread and butter of you as an artist. I think, besides even if you write it on napkins and notebooks and whatever, but I think getting them out there is important, just getting these ideas. So anyway, I just want to review all the type of sketchbooks I use. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, all right, guys.